Street Invaders, and we've been put in charge of doing your kids' church for this week. Today we are going to take a look at Moses and Pharaoh. Woo!
Let my people go.
That's what Moses said as he stood in front of Pharaoh. He was probably very nervous. He didn't want to be in Egypt. He wanted to be back home in the desert with his sheep and his family and friends. But there he was, standing in front of Pharaoh, saying exactly what God told him to say.
Let my people go.
And do you know what the Pharaoh said? He said,
No.
Rats. Okay, it was time for that neat trick with the scary stick snake. So Moses threw down his walking stick and boom! God turned it into a snake and back into a stick.
Let my people go.
He said again, and Pharaoh said,
Nope.
Double rats. Then God told Moses it was time to do something even more powerful than the stick snake. So he began to send plagues, one at a time, to show Pharaoh just how powerful he was. A plague is a really bad thing, like bugs or a bad rash or a really big storm. Stuff you don't want happening in your town. God told Moses to dip his walking stick in the river in Egypt, called the Nile. When a stick touched the river, all the water turned to blood.
Let my people go.
Moses said again, and Pharaoh said,
Nope.
Then God said to Moses,
Hold up your stick. We're going to make frogs.
and boom, frogs, millions of them, everywhere. The fields were covered with frogs. The roads were covered with frogs. There were frogs in people's houses, even in their beds.
Let my people go.
Moses said, trying not to step on a frog, and Pharaoh said,
Nope.
Next, God sent gnats, tiny little bugs that got everywhere. Then flies, zillions of flies. And then a sickness that killed all the farm animals. Next, all the Egyptians got sores on their skins. Itchy, ouchy sores all over. There was hail of big balls of ice that fell from the sky and knocked down all the corn and wheat and rice plants. And then locusts, big bugs that looked like grasshoppers and ate all the crops that weren't killed by the hail. Each time, Pharaoh said,
Nope.
These plagues, the frogs, the flies, the locusts, and hail, weren't enough, so God turned out the lights. Egypt went dark. It was the middle of the night dark, but only in the middle of the day. The Egyptians couldn't see anything.
Let my people go.
Moses said to Pharaoh. At least he thought he was talking to Pharaoh. It was so dark, it was hard to tell, but a voice from the darkness said,
Nope.
Finally, God knew exactly what he would have to do to change Pharaoh's mind. God told Moses it was time for the Egyptians to know how powerful he was.
I'm going to send an angel who will kill all the oldest sons of the Egyptians.
He said,
And then Pharaoh will let my people go.
Moses thought hard about this terrible thing.
How will the angel know which sons are the children of Israel?
Moses asked. God gave Moses a sign. Each Israelite family was to prepare a lamb for a special meal and then take some of the blood of that lamb and put it over the door of their house. When the angel saw the blood of the lamb over the door, the angel would pass over that house. Moses and the Israelites were unsure, but they followed God's direction. They put the blood of the lamb over their doors. They ate the special meal, which is now called Passover. They did everything just the way God had said, and then they went to bed. But they didn't get much sleep. That night, the angel passed through all the streets of Egypt, and in the morning, all of the oldest sons of the Egyptians were dead. The Egyptian moms and dads cried and cried. Even Pharaoh cried because his son died too. It was terrible. When he was done crying, Pharaoh called for Moses. Can you guess what he said? He said,
Go.
God showed the Egyptians just how powerful he was. He showed the children of Israel that he heard their cries and that he would keep the promises that he had made to their father Abraham. But that's not all. God also gave a hint about his third promise, the blessing for the whole world. Someday, all of God's children would be saved from death. All it would take would be the blood of a very, very special lamb.